Hello everyone, welcome to today's class, and the title for today is Veranda Vapors. Let's move on to language focus. 1번. These options are good enough for most people, but there are a few who want to barbecue at home. I love a good barbecue at home. So as you can see, I have highlighted are good enough. So how do we use this expression? So use be good enough to express that something is adequate or acceptable for some purpose or to meet someone's needs. Okay, so basically when something is good enough, to be good enough or sufficient enough is another way of saying 충분하다. Alright, when something is good enough. Alright, so as an example, I'd rather have Turkish food, but if we can get some pizza, that's good enough for me. 터키 음식을 먹고 싶지만 피자를 먹을 수 있다면 그거로 충분해요. So though I would rather Turkish food, 진짜 터키sh 음식 진짜 먹고 싶은데 그냥 피자 먹으면 괜찮을 것 같아요. 저 상관없어요. It's good enough for me. Or exercising for an hour a day might not be good enough for a competitive athlete, but is plenty for most people. So, 하루에 1시간 동안 운동한 것은 경쟁력 있는 운동선수에게는 충분하지 않을 수 있지만 대부분의 사람들에게는 충분합니다. So usually athletes train all day long. However, for just the average person like you and me, 1 hour of exercise is sufficient, is good enough. Alright, so let's move on to 2번 now. Okay. 2번, add to this the fact that many people hang up clothing to dry on their verandas and you have a potential nuisance. Alright, so add this to more, and you have. Okay, so we use this expression, add this to and you have, to express the result of a combination of factors. It is often used with the fact that. Okay, so the best way to kind of put it doesn't exactly mean this, but the best way to kind of put it is like 이것저것 있기 때문에 because of this and that, as an example, 어떤 상황은 이렇게 생겼어요. The result becomes this. 뭐 이것뿐만 아니라 it's not just this. 이것도 있기 때문에 this happens. Alright, so I'm going to give you more of an idea when I read the first example. Fukuoka has great food and friendly people. Add this to the fact that it's just a 1-hour flight from Seoul and you have a very good destination for Koreans. So basically what I'm saying is 후쿠오카에는 훌륭한 음식과 친절한 사람이 있습니다. 여기에 서울에서 비행기로 1시간 거리에 있다는 점을 더해보면 한국 관광객들에게 매우 좋은 여행지입니다. So we have all these factors. 후쿠오카 좋은 사람도 있고 맛있는 음식도 있고 그리고 그것뿐만 아니라 그 서울에서 뭐 후쿠오카 가면 1시간 걸려요. 그래서 좋은 like great destination, holiday destination for Korean people. Okay. Or Arabic is known for its complicated grammar and many different dialects. Add this to the fact that you have to learn a different writing system and you have quite a challenge. So, 아랍어는 뭐 복잡한 문법과 다양한 방언으로 유명하다. 여기에 아랍어 다른 문자 체계를 배워야 한다는 사실까지 더해지면 상당히 어려운 언어입니다. So, basically, 아라빅 언어는 너무 문법 너무 복잡하고요. 그 다이얼렉트도 많이 있어서 그거뿐만 아니라 그 쓰기는 너무 어려워서 아랍어 언어가 엄청 어려워요. That's kind of what we're saying. We're kind of adding facts on top of each other. We're kind of saying not this, but not only this as well. 그리고 이거는 and as a result, 결과는 you have a difficult language. You have a very good destination for Korean tourists. 이런 뜻이에요. Alright, so now let's move on to the language focus quiz. 1번. My favorite is but if I can have that's good enough for me. So remember, good enough, 충분하다. In our examples, we said, I'd rather have Turkish food, but if we can get some pizza, that's good enough for me. So 터키 음식을 먹고 싶지만 피자를 먹을 수 있다면 그거로 충분해요. So, let's say my favorite this is easy. My favorite pizza is pepperoni. Pepperoni pizza? But if I can have cheese pizza, that's good enough for me. 내가 가장 좋아하는 피자는 페퍼로니 피자지만 치즈 피자를 먹을 수 있다면 그거로 충분해요. So, my favorite pizza is pepperoni. 가장 좋아하는 피자는 페퍼로니입니다. 근데 페퍼로니 없으면 괜찮습니다. 제가 치즈 피자 먹으면 괜찮습니다. 2번. is good enough for most people, but some insist they need Let's say happiness is good enough for most people. But some insist they need more. 행복한 대부분의 사람들에게 충분하지만 어떤 사람들은 더 많은 것이 필요한다고 주장한다. So they want more than happiness. 예를 들어서 success. 3번. is known for add this to the fact that and you have a very talented individual. Let's say Lucy is known for, what is she known for? Being a great designer. Add this to the fact that she is a motivated person and you have a very talented individual. 루시는 훌륭한 디자이너로 알려져 있습니다. 여기에 루시가 동기부여가 된 사람이라는 사실을 더하면 그것은 그녀가 매우 재능 있는 사람이라는 것을 보여줍니다. So basically we're saying Lucy has all these great talents. 그거뿐만 아니라 she is a motivated person as well. 그래서 a very talented individual. And 4번, has many good places to add this to the fact that and you have a very interesting city. Seoul has many good places to, let's say, go on dates. Add this to the fact that public transport is really good and you have a very interesting city. 서울에는 데이트하기 좋은 장소들이 많이 있습니다. 여기에 대중교통이 정말 좋다는 사실까지 더해지면 매우 흥미로운 도시입니다. Alright, now let's move on to the further discussion. 1번. In your opinion, is it okay to cook meat on your veranda? Why or why not? 그 당신의 생각은 베란다에서 고기를 요리하는 것은 괜찮을까요? Why or why not? That's a good question because, we live in an apartment and it does affect other people. Do I think it's okay? I wouldn't complain, only because I mainly use the dryer, the 건조기, instead of hanging out my laundry. However, I can completely understand why some people would not enjoy it. I don't like the smell of cigarette smoke coming into my house, so I can sympathize and empathize with the people who have a problem with also the meat smell coming into their house. 2번. In addition to cooking smells, what are some things that can cause problems between apartment neighbors? 냄새를 요리하는 것 외에도 아파트 이웃들 사이에 문제를 일으킬 수 있는 것들은 무엇이 있을까요? Of course, noise complaints if they live above you or below you, if you're walking too heavily, the smell of smoke, I really hate it. Noise complaints as well as like the smell. Those are the two main reasons, and those are mostly what you would see up on the notice board in your apartment block. Please don't smoke, and please don't jump up and down in your apartment, etc. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's class, and I'll see you on the next class.
Hit the spot.
Hit the spot.
Ventilation system.
Ventilation system.
Fumes.
Fumes.
Densely populated.
Densely populated.
Tolerance.
Tolerance.
Empathy.
Empathy.